some other good players. This kid Robinson is a very good frontline player, transfer at 6'6". So, I just think it's a matter of us not letting our guard down.
And that will do it for our show this week here on the Marist Basketball Coaches Corner Gathering. Coming up next week, we'll have highlights of both of Marist's games, St. Francis of New York and Monmouth on Saturday. So for Dave McGarity, I'm Dean Darling, thanking you for joining us, and we'll be back with you next week right here on the Marist Basketball Coaches Corner Show. Good night, everybody.
Good evening and welcome to Mahopac High School as C-Tech Cable Sports presents varsity high school basketball as the Mahopac Indians host the Rams of Carmel.
You can only talk to one of us. Someone's going to be doing a huge shit for this one.
Compton, Spain, along with Jerry Brown from Mahopac High School. Richard Jones is our general manager. Glenn Bezonia, productions manager here at the site. Our technical crew, Tony Lentini, Gene Hallahan, Connell Fury, Kevin Bailey, ads consultant, and Jim Padullo on stats. Well, Jerry Brown, a little late start for us due to a very exciting JV game. Carmel beat Mahopac at the buzzer, 56-55. Big contest tonight, third time these two teams have met. Mahopac's won the first two, but a little bit different story this evening as Mahopac star Pat Mealy is out with a stress fracture in his ankle.
Well, that's definitely going to make a difference in the way that Carmel plays the game, but certainly in the way that Mahopac plays the game tonight, because he is an excellent ball handler and a three-point shooter, so it takes a big lot of punch out of the Mahopac offense tonight, Compton.
All right, we're set to go at center court. Larry Glover from Mahopac in white will jump up against Ben Ratcliffe, and we're underway. It'll be controlled by Kevin Downs. Kevin himself back very recently from a back injury, and he's set to go. This is Hillary. Off the mark, controlled underneath by Masterson, and Mahopac jumps up 2-0.
Well, that's one thing that Coach Stoltz doesn't want to see this early in the game. It's an offensive rebound and an inside two-point easy basket for Mahopac. Coach Stoltz really works hard on getting the players to box out, and that time there was nobody to take away the offensive player from Mahopac. And they also just got a good defensive rebound here, so right now they're controlling the boards, Mahopac.
We just saw John Guglielmo miss the attempt for Carmel. This is Glover. And rebound underneath taken by McGrath. And with Millie out of the lineup, Carmel is going to sag in on big number 5, Larry Glover, averaging close to 20 points as Kip Forde answers back, and we're tied at 2.
Definitely, Carmel's going to make Mahopac shoot the outside shot to beat them tonight with Mealy sitting on the bench. He can't score from the bench. So Glover's got to be their number 1 person they've got to be worried about. As you can see right now, they're basically double teaming him in the middle. And Ben Ratcliffe did a very good job boxing him out that time, so he couldn't touch the ball for an offensive rebound.
Just joining us, opening minutes of this first quarter of play. Mahopac and Carmel were tied at 2. You're watching C-Tech Cable Systems Channel 23. This is Andy McGrath inside. He's tied up by Amos Scipione. And let's quickly set the starting lineups. For Carmel, we have Kip Forde and John Guglielmo in the backcourt. Up front, Ben Ratcliffe, Mike Conroy, and Andy McGrath. For Mahopac, Hillary and Downs are the guards. Masterson, Scipione, and Glover up front. And this is Kip Forde. Guglielmo. And it is rejected. It looks like Glover.
Carmel has an all-senior starting team out there this evening, and I believe Coach Stoltz is rewarding Mike Conroy, number 32, for some really good efforts he's had during the season coming off the bench. And he's a really solid player, and he's going to see a lot from him tonight. See, for example, he kept the ball alive right there on that offensive rebound attempt by Carmel.
Conroy's got a big assignment tonight. He's got to do a lot of boxing out underneath. Kevin Downs. And Downs doesn't get the roll. Controlled underneath by Scipione. He has his first basket, and Mahopac leads 4-2.
Coach Stoltz can't be happy with that. That's a second offensive rebound that was converted into points for Mahopac. So they definitely have to box out there. They're playing basically a tight, compact zone, but they're not looking over the shoulders to see who they can box out when the shot goes up.
And McGrath inside ties us at 4. McGrath averaging 15 points and 15 rebounds a game. He's a real star.
He's an excellent player, and he's really a class player, too. He never stops hustling. He's a person that you just love to watch play because he doesn't have a lot of real natural skills, but he just works so hard. You'll see something right here. Look at this.
Pretty pass. Guglielmo finds McGrath, and a little bit of acrobatic ability underneath by Andy, and he now has 4.
That's his best thing that he does, Compton. He has great sort of acrobatic ability. Just as you said, he can get under the basket and twist and turn, and he's really a tough person to prevent from shooting a shot. And that was an equally acrobatic shot by Mahopac. This is a really great game so far.
Kevin Downs ties us at 6 with 4:55 to go in the first quarter. Forde. And grabbed underneath by Scipione. He gives it quickly to Downs. This is Sean Hillary. Hillary getting the start. Vinny DeGrande, another starter, is out, missing his 7th consecutive game. That's a lot of talent that Mahopac has sitting on the bench in DeGrande and Mealy.
It is a lot of talent, and it's I'm sure they're very disappointed, and the coach must be heartbroken to have him sitting on the bench next to him like that.
Give you some idea of Pat Mealy. He comes in averaging 27 points. He's through for the season. But the last player to average near that for Mahopac is sitting beside him on the bench, Joey DiMarzo, the assistant coach, way back in the 70s. That's a lot of points. He averaged 22 in the first 2 games against Carmel, but he will not play the rest of the way. It's an interesting offensive concept that the Carmel's using right now. You see, it's a 2-3 zone defense by Mahopac, and it's a 1-3-1 offense by Carmel, but with the low post player being a moving Andy McGrath, and with Ben Ratcliffe being in the center of the 2-3 defense for Mahopac, he's an excellent passer from there, and that's what Coach Stoltz wants to utilize him for, really a post-to-post pass, having Ben in the middle of the Mahopac defense. And we just saw Conroy hit to tie us at 8. Conroy had 10 points the other night, as we mentioned in the starting lineup this evening. And Carmel's going to have to hit from the outside. Talking to Coach Lance DiMarzo, he said, we're going to pack it in, and they're going to have to beat us from the outside if they want to win.
Well, that's what everybody's been doing to Carmel all year long, because they do have such a good inside game, so you've got to take that away from them as best you can. And it's really going to be up to Kip to put in some 3-pointers tonight, and John Guglielmo is going to have to shoot a few in there too for them to be, have a reasonable, decent chance of upsetting Mahopac tonight.
3:25 to go. Mahopac leads 10-8. Guglielmo intended for Ratcliffe, and it's picked up by Conroy. Good hustle underneath, but Mahopac controls, and they'll put it in bounds underneath their own basket with 3:13 to go and leading by 2.
Well, that was good hustle on the part of Carmel there, and good concentration on the part of Mahopac on that last situation underneath the basket.
These two teams have played twice before this season. Mahopac won the Big Four tournament, beating Carmel 77-49. And more recently, Mahopac won 85-69, a game that was closer, Jerry, than the score would indicate. Carmel led 24-14 at the end of the first quarter until Mahopac pulled away.
Well, Mahopac has this very good outside shooting game, and the three-point play makes a really big difference, and you really can't either sit on a lead or you can't get discouraged when you're that far behind it. The three-point shot has really revolutionized the game, and you can't sit on a lead at the same time. On defense, you can stay in the game with the three-point play, which is what Mahopac did that night.
Hillary checks out. Cohane is in. Downs from long range. Battle underneath. Conroy's got his hands on it, gives it away, and Downs lays it in. And that's where Downs is so effective. Mahopac now leads 12-8.
And 6 of those points have been offensive rebounds. And Carmel really did a good job boxing out that time. There was a long shot on their first shot, just bounced over the head of Ben Ratcliffe, and the taller Mahopac player got the ball. Ben did everything right fundamentally. The ball just bounced a little bit too high for him to come down with. That's part of the game. It happens sometimes.
And Ratcliffe will be called for the foul with 2:30 to go in this first quarter. Mahopac leads Carmel 12-8. Just want to mention our sponsors, the Longhorn Restaurant, Route 52 Carmel, and the Oscom Communication Center, Route 52 Carmel. We thank them for their patronage this evening.
That was just great hustle by Kevin Downs of Mahopac. Johnny went down. They have a pretty nice pass from Dwayne Perry, and he just hustled and got to the ball side and tipped it off of John's leg out of bounds. Mahopac ball. Just great hustle by Kevin Downs there.
Cohane to Downs, who finds Masterson. Great feed. Downs to Masterson, and Mahopac leads 14-8.
Well, that was a diagonal pass from out by the slash, and at that time, Carmel was very concerned about Downs inside. They were basically double teaming him, and they were playing him up a little too high, and they snuck a player in behind.
Guglielmo can't get the three-pointer. Rebound by Perry, and Downs comes up with the defensive rebound and starts Mahopac the other way. Masterson back outside to Cohane, and Cohane converts the three-pointer. And Jerry, that's what Mahopac needs. They're going to need the slack picked up with Mealy on the bench.
Well, that's what sometimes happens. If you have a good enough 7th or 8th player, when a good player goes down with an injury, that player gets a chance to prove in front of a home crowd that he deserves to be out there. And sometimes you see some great performances by players. So the injury certainly cannot be replaced, but he does a good job and helps his team out. How deep the team is really dependent on whether you can get away with something like that, Tom.
As we take a look at the Carmel cheerleaders, 1 minute and 20 seconds to go in this first quarter, and Mahopac leads Carmel 17-8. Just a reminder that Thursday night we'll be right back here at Mahopac High School for Mahopac's game with John J. East Fishkill, and that can be seen right here on C-Tech Cable Systems Channel 23 at 8 p.m. Thursday. And Jerry, we also anticipate following our local teams in the sectionals. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but it looks right now that 3 of them at least, Mahopac, Brewster, and Carmel, are all going to go to the sectionals this year.
They're all having very, very good seasons. I believe Brewster is above 500 as a record. We know that Carmel is, and Mahopac is also. So it'll be fun to watch 3 Putnam County teams in the sectionals this year. This is, I believe, the best team that Eddie's had since he's started coaching at Carmel a few years ago. And they really have had an excellent season, and a lot of credit has to be given to not only to the players, but to Ed, who's done an excellent job with them all year.
Eddie Stoltz, in his 3rd year at Carmel High School, has coached the Rams to a 9-7 record. Mahopac comes in 10-6. And this is Glover, taken off by Radcliffe. Quickly, Guglielmo tries to feed underneath the basket, and Mahopac comes back, led by Larry Glover, with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. Glover, and that's where they want Glover to shoot from. He's off the mark, and Carmel gets the ball with 25 seconds to go in the first quarter. They're down 17-8. Forde, and he is fouled by Downs.
Well, the last two times that Mahopac had possession, Carmel really sort of matched up with them. Carmel's playing a 2-3 zone, and Mahopac actually matched up with us to make our job a little bit easier. So when the shot went up, we were able to get good positioning on the defensive rebound. So we've got the last two defensive rebounds, which means that things are looking better for us, right, for Carmel right now.
Kip Forde is off. A rebound by Bill Phillips, who's checked in, number 15. As he has the ball on the right side. And Mahopac will look for the last shot. We're approaching the 5-second mark of this first quarter. Cohane to the basket. And that's where we'll end after 1 quarter of play. Our score, Mahopac 17, Carmel 8.
On our famous fish fry, only $5.99. All you can eat fish, baked potato, and salad bar.
You're just a call away from staying in touch.
Oscom, state-of-the-art in personal communications, or the best in cellular phones. Choice of services that suit your needs. 9X, Metro One, SNET, Metro Mobile, Cellular One. Pager Beeper is the best regional or national service. Telephone systems, residential or business. Call us at 914-225-1010 or visit our showroom, the Oscom Center.
You're just a call away from staying in touch.
Getting ready to start the second quarter, as Jerry Brown points out that Jim Madison, number 11, is in the game. Jim had a season high this season of 17. And he had some pretty good offensive games throughout this season, and he's been a starter for most of it.
He's had a very excellent junior year, and he's bound to have even a better senior year. He's just a real hustler and a scrapper, and he's not afraid to shoot that shot either. At that time, they had Andy McGrath. He's been a little more patient. And that's what I'm talking about. That shot went up, and Andy just hustled and hustled and hustled, got the offensive rebound, and put it right back up. And he's going to do that all night, and Mahopac is going to have to work really hard to keep him farther away from the offensive boards than that.
And we saw Larry Glover get a hand on the ball at one point. McGrath to the foul line. Speaking to Coach Eddie Stoltz, he said Andy's his most improved, most valuable, and most loved player.
Well, he's an easy player to love because he's got such enthusiasm. He's always open to constructive criticism, and he works so hard. So he's one of those people that are just a pleasure to be around, and that's a great comment by Coach Stoltz. What jump stop, layup.
Couple of good passes, Guglielmo and Radcliffe finding McGrath, and Carmel has cut Mahopac's lead to 6 with 7:20 to go in the first half.
Well, Mahopac now should just settle down. They got well, they didn't settle down. They drove into the middle into a double team. When you start to lose momentum, I always think it's best to just settle down a little bit and try to work the ball, if you can, into the post. And they've got such a good post player that he should be a major, a focal point when your team is starting to lose momentum a little bit.
This is McGrath, and McGrath finds the hole. It is now 17-13 with 6:50 to go in the first half. Setting the Mahopac lineup. This is Glover on the turnaround. And he finds this one, and Mahopac now leads 19-13. Mahopac has Downs, Shelton, Hillary, Masterson, and Glover.
Well, that time down the floor, Mahopac did what, you know, I wasn't hoping that they would, but I was expecting them to. They took their time and they got the ball into Glover inside.
And Hillary comes up with the steal. He's number 25. Masterson, baseline. Rebound Glover. And Glover is starting to take charge as Mahopac leads 21-13.
Well, back to the same old story. They got to keep him away from the offensive boards. It's really that simple, but it's that difficult too. And that's how he plays on both ends of the court. Made a really nice baseline jump shot down here on an offensive rebound, hustles back here, and rejects the first Carmel shot that goes up in the paint. It's really an excellent effort by him.
Larry, only a junior, had a season high of 33, and he dominated the last time these two teams met. 24 points, 15 rebounds. He's playing like Patrick Ewing out there.
Well, if he keeps on growing, you never know. I mean, he's got a nice medium range, meaning 12 to 15-foot shot, and he's not afraid to take it. It's nice to see big players like that not be afraid to shoot that shot.
And Larry will be back for another year, which is a frightening thought for all those teams in League 1C. This is Madison. And again, his shot is altered by Glover, and the ball should go back to Carmel.
That's exactly right, Compton. That shot was altered by Glover. Jimmy drove into the middle there, realized that he was going up against Glover, and then, you know, took a little bit off his shot, affected the trajectory of the shot that he took.
And this time, Masterson gets in the act. And talking to the coaching staff for Carmel, or rather, excuse me, for Mahopac, they were saying that Frank Masterson is really the key for their team the rest of the way. He's got to pick up the slack, and they're looking for big things from number 21.
Well, when you lose good players, you have to have other players that'll help out. And again, it's hard to replace Mealy, but Masterson has some experience. It's a nice ball fake opposite direction he went there by Glover. Really nice low post move by Glover.
The improvement by Glover has been unbelievable from his sophomore to his junior year. If he has the kind of improvement he had between last year and this year, next year, he's going to really control the show.
I would say so. When you have a big player who can score points like that, it really helps your team, because one thing happens is they never get any shorter, and all that usually happens is they get bigger and better, and their inside game develops. So if he's got another year under Coach DeMarzo with the type of inside instruction that he's no doubt getting, he'll have a great year next year.
Kip Forde draws the foul. I think Larry Glover was looking for the slam dunk. They tell me the last time these teams met, Larry had 4 slam dunks. And he was looking for his first this evening.
I know Carmel knows that also, Compton, and I'd be very surprised if he gets too many of them this evening. I'm sure they've worked on keeping him away.
Masterson heads towards the basket. He's fouled by Cohane. We have 5:09 to go in the first half. Mahopac leads Carmel 21-13, and our high scorers, Andy McGrath with 7, and Jim Padullo tells me for Mahopac, Kevin Downs also has 7.
Well, the game's getting a little sloppy now, Compton, from both teams. Both teams are getting a little bit emotional here, and they're losing what the coaches want to teach them in this particular situation is a little bit of composure. They're both losing it, and they're watching each other, and they're starting to talk to each other a little bit, and I hope this free throw settles both teams down a little bit.
21-14, 5:09 to go. Jim Madison on the line. And the rebound is snarled by Hillary. He's tripped up, and Madison misses the layup. Perry. Follow, it is blocked. And Mahopac plays big underneath their own basket, as Madison maybe rushed it just a little much.
He rushed it, and both teams again are playing with a lot of emotion, a lot of hustle. As long as that hustle stays controlled by both teams, this will turn out to be a very, very great game, because they really are hustling.
Sean Hillary, the center on the Mahopac football team that only lost 1 game last fall. Forced into playing point guard with the injury to Vinny DeGrande, doing a fine job. In the last 3 games, he has had 7 3-pointers.
And Mahopac had such a good football team last year, and let me just put a little plug in for Carmel, too. As you know, Carmel had an excellent football team, also going down to a bowl game and winning it down in Mount Vernon, beating New Rochelle in a bowl game, much to the credit of the players and Coach Fletcher.
My buddy Nick Fletcher. Nick, of course, worked with me here at C-Tech Cable for a year before becoming head coach, and he said he almost didn't take the job because he enjoyed being my partner. But
well, that's a very nice compliment to you, Compton.
Did a great job as our color analyst 2 years ago. Madison hits the first. It's now 21-15 with 4:32 to go in the first half. And Madison hits the second, and that's what you like to see, Jerry, a former coach for Carmel. You like to see him make those foul shots.
Sure, because every foul shot in a game counts. Everybody says, well, it comes down to the last minute or two. Not really. The ones you miss in the first quarter and the second quarter are just as instrumental. They miss, they don't count, and those are the ones that you really lose the game with. Down in the last minute or two, the ones everybody remembers. It's the ones that you miss here that people forget that are just as significant. And Carmel's not missing them. They're making them right now.
We saw some pretty good defense on the other end by Ben Ratcliffe. The other night against Lakeland, he held an all-section performer, Chuck Jones, to only 10 points, and Eddie Stoltz couldn't say enough about that.
Well, again, Ben really fits the character of the entire team. They're hustlers, they're scrappers. You know, he works real hard on practice and boxing out, and he's doing a pretty good job this evening too. He's going to be really tested by Glover, that's for sure. But so far, right now, he's holding his own fine. Almost right back in this game, Compton, right? Kip makes this, which you will, which you didn't. It's a 4-point game.
Mahopac has showed signs of pulling away, but Carmel has hung tough. And Masterson quickly at the other end. And Mahopac wanted to run if they got the opportunity, and that's really the first time they have this evening.
Well, that was a breakdown on the part of Carmel. You don't want to give up an easy basket like that after a missed free throw. You don't want to give up an easy basket at any time, but we should be prepared to prevent that sort of a long pass.
Racing out comes Downs. 15-footer. And just like that, Mahopac's lead is extended to 8, 25-17.
Well, Carmel made a run and was controlling momentum, and Mahopac is answering. They're playing really, really tough defense now. Nice jump stop by Ben in the middle.
Didn't quite have the touch. And Hillary gets it to Downs with 3:30 to go in the first half. You're watching C-Tech Cable Systems, Channel 23. Compton Span along with Jerry Brown from Mahopac High School. Masterson. Good feed from Cohane. And a nice defensive play by Kip Forde.
By Kip Forde and by Andy McGrath. They sort of double team him. Kip stayed on the outside of him, behind him, and Andy got on the inside, and really nice rejection.
Glover on the miss, gets the rebound, and when he gets that close, it's an automatic 2 points. Mahopac now leads by 10.
Ben did a very good job there boxing out, and then he pivoted around, and he didn't have real good control over the ball, and a Mahopac quick hand resulted in easy 2 for Glover.
The misses by Guglielmo. Downs with the rebound. We're under the 3-minute mark of this first half. Mahopac by 10, and a whistle and a foul on Guglielmo.
I'm really not too sure what Kevin Downs was trying to do there. That was either he wasn't sure what he wanted to do and went up in the air, or he was purposely feeling he was going to get a foul from John Guglielmo here. And because he was up in the air, the official's going to give him a 2-point free throw attempt here in the act of shooting.
For Carmel, we see Perry, Ratcliffe, Forde, Guglielmo, and McGrath on the floor for Mahopac. Downs, Cohane, Glover, Masterson, and Hillary. And Mahopac gets the rebound. Cohane to Hillary. to the basket, tries to feed Glover and throws it out of bounds, so Carmel will get it back with 2:38 to go in the first half, down by 11.
Well, at this stage in the game, Compton, down by 11 and getting so close before, Carmel really has to work hard at getting the ball inside to Andy McGrath or to a good baseline jump shot from Kip, which is going up right now. They really got to make that. And offensive rebounding by Carmel paid off there. Andy keeping the ball alive and Ben Ratcliffe making the field goal.
So Carmel cuts Mapac's lead to 9, 28-19. Cohane is off. And here comes Carmel, led by Perry. Pretty play by Perry, doesn't get the roll. Glover gets the rebound. Here comes Hillary for Mapac. 1:50 to go in the first half.
Well, that was a pretty play. I would have liked to see Dwayne use his left hand on that one, though. He showed him the ball and then took a good step. But you're going to make that shot when you don't expose your shooting hand to the defender. He should have used his left hand on the left side of the floor like that, Compton.
And a whistle underneath. The intensity level has been high. Both coaches expected a physical contest.
It's been high, but it's been controllable. This is really good high school basketball when players get emotional, but they don't get out of control with their emotion. And that's what both teams are doing right now. They're playing within themselves. They're playing an emotional game, but they're not out of control with the emotion.
Senior Ben Ratcliffe on the line. Misses the free throw. And Downs gets it to Cohane with 1:36 to go in the first half. Masterson. Rebound Forde quickly to Guglielmo. And he's going to be called for steps, and Mapac will get it back, leading by 9.
Well, Mahopac with a 9-point lead here and a chance to have the last possession of the game, it might be a good idea to hold the ball for. At least that's what I would do. Hold the ball and get the ball inside when they can, or shoot up a good percentage jump shot close to the buzzer. But they may do something completely different. Three-pointer goes up.
Long range from Hillary is off the mark. This is Dwayne Perry, number 20. Kip Forde. Under a minute to go in the first half. Mapac by 9. McGrath. And momentarily into the hands of Forde. And the ball goes off. A combination of McGrath and Downs. And Mapac will get it.
Alternate possession. Good rule, Compton. I wish they had that rule when I was coaching. That's a really good rule. It saves for a lot of crazy jump balls in situations like this.
Downs finds Masterson, and Masterson along the baseline puts Mapac up by 11.
Well, Mahopac right now has everything going their way. They're forcing the ball down the court, and they're taking shots, and Carmel is helping them out by some really poor passing right now. So, again, 28 seconds, a chance to maintain the last shot. I doubt if they'll shoot it up before the, well, you never know.
Kevin Downs leads all scorers with 11 points for Mapac. 15 seconds to go first half. Mapac by 11, 30-19. Hillary. And Ratcliffe, 5 seconds to go, out of bounds, and Mapac will get another chance.
A little bit sloppy play there, and that's a coach's nightmare. When you work real hard, they take the shot that they were eventually going to take. We get the rebound, and then we throw it at the outlet receiver's feet, out of bounds. Mahopac inbounds with 4 seconds. They got time for a shot.
Cohane looking for Scipione. And with 1 second to go, Scipione is fouled.
Scipione goes to the free throw line. Carmel picked up a foul on one of its better players who we can't really afford to get into foul trouble. It's going to be some time for some regrouping.
Scipione with 4 points in this first half. And that'll do it. So we've played one half of basketball at Mahopac High School, and our score, Mahopac 30, Carmel 19. We'll be back.
We knew it was death. That's when we heard a terrifying cry. Husband, oh boy, you better serve or die. Serve.
on our famous fish fry, only $5.99. All you can eat fish, baked potato, and salad bar.
You're just a call away from staying in touch.
Oscom, state-of-the-art in personal communications, or the best in cellular phones. Choice of services that suit your needs. 9X, Metro One, SNET, Metro Mobile, Cellular One. Pager Beeper is the best regional or national service. Telephone systems, residential or business. Call us at 914-225-1010 or visit our showroom, the Oscom Center.
You're just a call away from staying in touch.
Halftime between Mahopac and Carmel, with Mahopac leading 30-19. And Jerry, a terrific first half for Mahopac. They really hung tough. They were able to pull out when they had to. It looked like at times they were going to really pull away with this game. Carmel hung tough, but Mahopac leads by 11.
Well, Carmel made a couple of very good runs at Mahopac in the first half, especially with some very good free throw shooting. But then when Carmel gets to within 4 or 5 points, Mahopac puts on another little run, a little spurt of 5 or 6 more themselves. So as a result, momentum changed in the last part of the first half to Mahopac, and that accounts for the 11-point lead right now.
Well, the big scorer for Mahopac in the first half was Kevin Downs. He finished with 11 points. And some of the slack he had to pick up for was, come on in, Pat. Hey, we'll take Pat first. For Pat Mealy, who has a stress fracture with his ankle.
Stress fracture and tore ligament apart. It's bad.
Pat, it's got to absolutely kill you to sit on the bench and watch your team perform against Carmel, the arch rival. In the first 2 games, you averaged 22 points. Is it tough?
Oh, it's impossible. I don't know. I don't know how I'm getting through this, but they're playing a heck of a game, and they're fun to watch. Just wish I was out there.
What's the prognosis on the ankle? 6 weeks?
Yeah, it'll probably be about 6 weeks, and then rehabilitation after that. So who knows?
Going to be ready for baseball?
Yeah, I will. I'll be ready for baseball.
What about next year? Have you made up your mind what you're going to do?
No, I really haven't. It's all up in the air right now. It's just
the NBA?
No, I don't know. It's really confusing right now at this point. We'll see what happens.
Jerry, you have any questions for Pat?
No, I just wanted to pass along my feeling that I'm very sorry for a player this caliber to be missing out in a game which I know he very desperately wants to be here. It would make his be a dream for him to play against Carmel and score those 22 points again. But I'm sure if Mahopac wins the game, which apparently they look like they're going to finish off, he'll be very happy for his teammates. I'm sure he's that type of team player.
Well, we were looking forward to seeing you tonight, averaging 27 points this year. Congratulations for the most of the season, and good luck.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Okay, Pat Mealy, maybe we'll move in with Vinny DeGrande. Vinny, how you doing?
I'm all right. Tore some ligaments in my left ankle, and going for therapy. I've been out for about 4 weeks now, and I'm hoping to get back. I'm going to the doctors again on Monday, and hopefully I'll be back for next week.
Jerry, speaking with Eddie Stoltz earlier in the season, he said, I know Pat Mealy's a good player, and I know Kevin Downs is a good player, but he said, I'll tell you, I think Vinny DeGrande is the key to the team. They really miss his ball handling.
Ball handling, hustle, defense, boxing out, leadership, all of those things. A lot of them don't appear in the box score, but one coach can see that in a player, and Coach Stoltz is a very keen observer of the people that Mahopac have. It's another sorry thing for Vinny not to be able to play this evening. It's got to be hurting him badly, but it sounds like he's going to be back for the sectional, so he's got to smile about that.
That's the good news.
That's great news. I'm really, I've been sitting on the bench and watching these guys play, and I have to say, we got a lot of guys that, just to come in, like Sean and Robbie Cohane, a lot of guys from the bench. I can't wait to get back, and I just hope that, I can be back for sectionals.
All right, well, we're going to be back here Wednesday night, a game that can be seen on C-Tech Cable Thursday night. Maybe we'll see you then.
I hope so.
Okay, Vinny DeGrande, good luck. Okay, we're wrapping up our halftime show. Once again, our score, Mahopac 30, Carmel 19. We'll be right back.
famous fish fry, only $5.99. All you can eat fish, baked potato, and salad bar.
You're just a call away from staying in touch.
Oscom, state-of-the-art in personal communications, or the best in cellular phones. Choice of services that suit your needs. 9X, Metro One, SNET, Metro Mobile, Cellular One. Pager Beeper is the best regional or national service. Telephone systems, residential or business. Call us at 914-225-1010 or visit our showroom, the Oscom Center.
You're just a call away from staying in touch.
Getting ready to start the second half with Mahopac leading Carmel 30-19, and Jim Padula's been taking care of stats during the first half. And Jim, maybe you can give us the Carmel players first.
Andy McGrath, he's got 7 points thus far. He's the leader for Carmel team right now. Kip Forde, again, he's in second. He's got 3 points thus far. Jim Madison, another one, just got 3 points. Those are all the big scores for Carmel.
We got Guglielmo, Radcliffe, and Conroy with 2. Spread around a little bit, not too bad. At Mahopac, we see Downs with 10.
Frank Masterson with 8.
Glover, Glover and Scipione. Glover with 6, Scipione 4, and Cohane with 3. Not too bad.
Not too bad at all. It's been a very exciting game thus far. Looking forward to a good second half.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that stat sheet. Thanks, Jim Padula. And Jerry, we're all set.
And we're watching Carmel get into their 1-3-1 offense against a 2-3 zone defense by Mahopac. That time, nobody guarded the in-post. They were playing behind the Carmel center, and an easy pass inside, easy 2 points.
You think Coach Stoltz told the guys, let's get it into Andy McGrath?
Well, that's really what they have to do. I mean, they probably don't have to be told that very often by Coach Stoltz, but I'm sure he emphasized it at halftime that that's been their bread and butter all year, and they've got to keep on doing that if they want to stay close in this game. The other thing that they must do is they have to really watch their passing. Their passing was a little bit sloppy in the first half, and as a result, Mahopac got several easy baskets.
And Carmel comes back. They're down by 11, and Glover gets it to Downs. We'll set the starting 5 for Mahopac. It's the same 5 that started the game: Hillary, Downs, Scipione, Masterson, and Glover. Carmel shows Guglielmo, Madison, Radcliffe, Forde, and McGrath. And this is Masterson on the floor. He has it taken away by Guglielmo, and we're going to have a foul on Hillary.
Well, that was good hustle by both teams there. Both teams are really trying very, very hard, and John Guglielmo showed a lot of hustle on that particular play, as did Mahopac.
6:55 to go in the third quarter. Carmel leads Mahopac 32-21. Compton, Spain, along with Jerry Brown from Mahopac High School. And we'll be back here Wednesday night for Mahopac John J. East Fishkill, a game that can be seen on tape delay Thursday at 8 p.m. Kip Forde looks inside to McGrath. Good position. And he gets 2. It's now 32-23.
Well, that's what Carmel really wants to do. They're using a 1-3-1 offense, and they're having Kip Forde run the baseline. And what's happening is that they are getting the Carmel center, McGrath, playing with Glover, and Glover's playing behind him. And with Glover playing behind him like that, they're going to throw that baseline pass in from Kip every single time, and there's going to be a lot of points scored by Andy McGrath unless he starts to play frontal deny or side deny on him.
And McGrath now has 11 points to lead Carmel with 6:22 to go, and Mahopac leading 32-23. Both teams wind up the regular season this week, and they'll start sectional play over the weekend or shortly thereafter. Jerry looks at me.
I was just watching the Carmel run their offense. They're still trying to do the exact same thing, and that was a little bounce pass into Andy McGrath from the point area. And they're really being very patient here, and they really do know what they have to do to get back in the game, and they're running some nice patterns now. I really think they're going to, if they keep this up, they're going to start nibbling at that lead a little bit, Compton.
This game is coming to you on tape delay, being retelecast Monday and Tuesday at 7. This game being played Friday night. And once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, the Longhorn Steakhouse. And they have an all-you-can-eat special for $5.99. That's Route 52, ShopRite Plaza, the Longhorn Steakhouse, and also Oscom Communications Center, state-of-the-art communications, Route 52, Lake Carmel, across from Lloyd Lumber. Robbie Cohane gets it back outside to Sean Hillary. Hillary to Masterson. Good play by Ratcliffe, doing what he does best, denying Masterson the basket, and Carmel will get it back with 5:44 to go, and Mahopac leading by 9.
And Carmel's starting to gain a little bit of momentum here. They're looking very sharp on offense.
Guglielmo, rebound Ratcliffe. And Ratcliffe's one of the players that Carmel needs a big game from.
He has to be a good defensive player, which he has been doing and demonstrating during the game. And with these points here inside, it's really got to be a plus for Carmel's comeback attempt. They're really looking very good now, Compton.
Coach Lance DeMarzo is giving Larry Glover a rest. Frank Masterson is playing under the basket. 5:17 to go. 32-25. Mahopac leads by 7. And Masterson throws a blind pass picked up by Cohane. And finally, the rebound is grabbed by Forde.
They really miss Glover right now for their offensive setups. Right now, they're playing basically with 3 guards and 2 inside players, and Carmel's really taking advantage of the of that situation on both offense and defense now.
And Carmel has now cut the lead to 5, 32-27 with 4:44 to go in this third quarter. And Tony, maybe we'll stay right here and take a look at the Carmel cheerleaders as they go out on the floor. If you're just joining us, you're watching C-Tech Cable Systems Channel 23, Compton, Spain, along with Jerry Brown. And Jerry, Carmel has really hung tough. We spoke about it at halftime, but they're keeping themselves in this game.
Well, this is what they did in the second period also. They cut an 11-point lead to 4 points, and at that particular point in the game, Mahopac began to make a run back at them with some fast break basketball. But Glover was in the game then. Now, Glover comes out of the game. Carmel makes a little bit of a run. Glover's, I see now, staying on the bench, so this is opportunity for Carmel to cut that lead. They already shaved an 11-point halftime lead to 6, and it's an opportunity to shave it some more.
Both teams head back on the floor, and Larry Glover stays on the bench. Sean Hillary will toss it in. Hillary and Cohane are in the backcourt. Downs, Masterson, and Amos Scipione up front. For Carmel, we see Ratcliffe, McGrath, Madison, Guglielmo, and Forde. Mahopac comes in 10-6, Carmel 9-7. Mahopac has won the 2 previous encounters. And Hillary hits a 3-pointer. I believe that's his first of the game. He now has 5.
Well, that was a very good shot, and they showed a lot of patience getting the ball around to him. And this is what Jimmy Madison does best, by the way, is taking the ball from one end of the court to the other. Mahopac is going to get this possession also, it looks like, Compton. They're calling a traveling violation on Carmel.
So every time Carmel creeps back into it, Mahopac starts to pull away, and now they lead 35-27. Scoreboard kind of obstructed from this view with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. And Carmel gets it back as John Guglielmo will bring it across.
Right now, Carmel's staying in there tough, and Mahopac has extended their deep. Matter of fact, they're playing man-to-man defense right now on Carmel. And this is an opportunity for a larger Carmel team with Glover not in the game to post up some people inside. And they are going right to the basket, which is what they should be doing in a situation against man-to-man defense. Carmel should really live for teams to play them man-to-man because they do have a very tall and agile team.
Both teams are neck and neck, and league play. That's League 1C. Carmel is 4-5 in the league. Mahopac 4-4. Jim Madison on the line. And he hits the first, and Mahopac's lead is now 7. 3:41 to go. Third quarter. Madison misses the second. A lot of hustle by Radcliffe. A little bit wild on the shot. Downs with the rebound. Here comes Hillary. Quick pass to Scipione. And Amo Scipione, the senior, looking like his brother Vic, now has 6.
That was a really nice move by Scipione then, and that reminds me of his brother. He used to do that all the time. Take the ball inside on a dribble and go to the basket. Very tough player.
Nice family, the Scipiones, and Guglielmo answers back. 37-30, Mahopac by 7, 3 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Well, Mahopac is playing Carmel man-to-man for some reason, and Carmel, I think, enjoys playing against that type of defense, so perhaps they're just trying to rest Glover a little bit, and right now it's still a 7-point game, so they really haven't lost very much by Glover sitting on the bench, and he's getting a nice rest on the bench.
On in comes Joe Bradley as Robert Cohane takes a seat. Bradley's number 24. Quick outlet pass to Forde. And an athletic move by Kip Forde gets Carmel 2 more. And Mahopac now leads by 5.
That looked like a full court man-to-man press by Mahopac, and they are really getting burned by that right now.
Forde's been quiet. He only has 4 points. Downs off balance, can't convert. Here comes McGrath, number 23. Forde has been quiet, and he's the kind of guy that can explode. He's had several 20-point games this season.
Well, he's a very good three-point shooter, and he hasn't had a chance to put too many of them up tonight, and he doesn't really have to right now what Carmel's doing, but just getting the ball inside constantly, and Mahopac is making mistakes offensively down here at this end. It'd be a good time for Coach Samars to call a timeout, because Mahopac is forcing some shots up. That's the second forced shot in the last 2 possessions, both by Downs.
Forde gets it to Guglielmo. Battle underneath. Masterson gets the rebound. Outlet pass to Downs. Bradley on the wing. And Downs does not get the roll, but he will go to the line. With 1:48 to go in the third, Mahopac's lead has been cut to 3.
Well, that's where Downs plays a really good game. When he gets in the open court, I wouldn't relish the defensive player. It's really got to find a way to try to stop him because he's got such good twisting moves, and he demonstrated it right there. But against that tight zone defense, which he's trying to penetrate with his dribble, Carmel's been forcing him to take some pretty poor shots. But in the open court on a fast break, the player's a very dangerous player, Kevin Downs.
And Kevin Downs now has 12 points. Thank you, Jim Padula. Doing a good job with our stats this evening. Mahopac's lead will stay at 4, and another foul. Downs will go back to the line. This time the foul is on Guglielmo.
Well, that was just good hustle by Kevin Downs on that, and the ball rolled, and you know, Kevin got the ball, and he stood up, and Johnny was standing there, and it was just one of those excuse me fouls.
Check that. Downs will not go to the foul line. He'll get the ball from Bradley instead. Joe Bradley. Rebound by McGrath. Quickly to Madison with 1:40 to go in the third. Nice play, Jimmy Madison with 2 points, and Carmel now is down by 2.
Well, everything's been going Carmel's way since Downs has taken a spot on the bench. And Jimmy Madison is a very good end-to-end player. And he gets the ball in the open court. He would be the equivalent of a Kevin Downs getting the ball. He's got some very good inside moves.
And that's going to be an offensive foul on Kevin Downs as Forde goes to the floor with 1:15 to go in the third. And Carmel will have a chance to tie.
Again, Compton, Carmel's playing a good quarter, and Mahopac is really out of sync right now with their offensive maneuvering. They really are missing Glover, or they should really have just settled down a little bit more and try to work the ball around. Carmel's really not putting a lot of pressure on them. Mahopac is more or less making mistakes on its own.
Radcliffe holds on, gets it to Forde. Forde hits the front of the rim. The rebound by Downs. And he gets it to Scipione to Hillary. 53 seconds to go in the third. Mahopac by 2. Mahopac with a makeshift lineup. Two of their two-year starters, Pat Mealy and Vinny DeGrande, are out. Mealy's gone for the season. DeGrande, we understand, may be back later on this week. And a turnover for Mahopac, so once again, Carmel will get another chance to tie, and if my memory serves me right, Jerry, the score has not been tied since it was 2-2.
That's right, it's been all Mahopac until the third period here. And I was about to say that pass really hurt, but good play by Jimmy Madison, which they're waving off, calling offensive foul.
Tough call for Carmel, but it'll stand despite any protestations, and with 18 seconds to go, Mahopac puts it in play. Downs will bring it across looking for the last shot. 38-36, closing seconds of the third quarter. And this is Phillips, and he is fouled by Madison.
It was a pretty hard collision the Mahopac player took. That time Carmel came out in a half-court trap, putting a little pressure on Mahopac's guards, and they did the right thing. They got the ball down to the baseline, and the player drove to the basket, which is exactly what you should do. They took a very hard hit, and he's being attended to now underneath the Mahopac basket.
And number 15 is Bill Phillips, a junior from Mahopac, and he looks to be in quite a bit of pain. And Mahopac can ill afford to lose another player. And we see Jerry Keevans over Bill, and Bill is projected to be the starting quarterback for Mahopac next year on the football team. And he looks to be in quite a bit of pain.
Mahopac's bench looks very banged up. As you look over at them, Compton, you can see that there's crutches here and there and casts here and there, and really approximately 5 players left on the bench to participate. Carmel, on the other hand, has a pretty well-staffed team, and if it should ever get to a game of attrition, it looks like Carmel could possibly win this thing because they've got a very fresh bench with some fairly talented juniors on that bench also.
And I guess you're speaking of players like Joe LaSavio and Joe Jurgensen and Jeff Occupiti, who we haven't seen this evening?
Yes, there's some very good juniors on Carmel. I had the opportunity to watch them play the other evening against FDR. They have a player, Brendan O'Brien, who is doing a very good job rebounding in the game. Wally Straub, a point guard type player, excellent dribbler, ball handler, junior also. They have Paul Baird on the team, Jeff Occupini on the team, Joe Jurgensen on the team. You know, fair amount of height, some decent ball handlers. I think Carmel's going to have a very solid team again next year, Compton. Plus, they'll have Jimmy Madison back with a full year of experience, basically as either as 5th starter or as a 6th man, who's played all season long for Carmel.
And there was a very exciting JV game just prior to this varsity game. Carmel won in the closing seconds, 56-55. So Cohane hits 2. It's now 40-36.
I was going to say a word about the JV game to give a little plug to Kevin Fury, the sophomore who made that shot at the buzzer for Carmel that helped them win the game. Younger brother of Tom Fury, who played on a few of my teams several years ago.
Now we're going to take a look at the Mahopac cheerleaders as we're getting ready for the last quarter of play. Now, that Fury wouldn't be any relation to a brother that played a couple years ago and a sister who was pretty good last year.
Yes, that's right. It's the same exact family, basketball family, the Furies. And Tommy Fury was the center on our last championship team at Carmel back in the 84-85 season. He was an excellent low post player, sort of a developmental player like I see the Glover player from Mahopac. Tommy was in the general area of that type of ability as a junior, and he really had an excellent senior season, worked very hard in practice, and Kevin's the same type of a player with the same amount of talent, I believe.
Well, that bodes well for Carmel, and we'll tell Tony Lentini that the next break we will hear from one of our sponsors. We wanted to get a look at the Mahopac cheerleaders. They can be a vicious group if you don't show them, Jerry.
I would say so, Compton, and you've been doing your best to show them this evening, and also the Carmel cheerleaders. So they've got to be pleased if any of this gets on television.
The Mahopac cheerleaders led by Lance DeMarzo's wife, Sue DeMarzo. She does an outstanding job with the girls. Okay, fourth quarter underway, 7 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Mahopac leads by 4. They've led virtually all the way. The score was tied at 2. Since then, Mahopac has led throughout. And the rebound is by Masterson. He gets it to Downs.
Glover remains on the bench, Compton. Coach DeMarzo has his reasons for doing this, I'm sure.
Maybe 3 fouls. It's the only thing I can think.
That must be it. But right now, that was a very nice inside pass by Carmel to the post player McGrath, and he really wasn't contested in the pass very much. So Carmel's going to continue to have a field day unless they can deny that pass to Andy McGrath.
We're back at Mahopac High School. We had a momentary pause as we changed tapes. Seven minutes to go in the fourth quarter, 40-36. Mahopac on top, off balance is Kip Forde. Gets his own rebound and gets it to Radcliffe. And Carmel cannot convert. Downs comes up big and starts the other way. Kevin Downs. And Kevin Downs gets his first basket of the second half. He now has 13.
Well, he showed some real good athletic ability on that, Compton. He got the defensive rebound at one end, which Carmel contested viciously for. And he came down in the open court and shot that jump shot right in the face of a Carmel player. Excellent athletic ability.
Carmel with 3 attempts and will get a jump ball. And the arrow points Mahopac's direction, so they'll put it in play, leading 42-36. Kevin Downs, as we mentioned, missed the last 2 games with back problems. He averages 16 points and 6 steals a game. He's number 3, and he has the ball.
Carmel's putting a full half-court trap, rather, on Mahopac, trying to take advantage of the fact that they have really done no substituting for their guards, and their guards possibly be a little tired right now. And Carmel's coming out and making Mahopac play, and we'll see if Mahopac can get the ball down to the baseline and from the baseline inside, because that's what you do against a half-court trap.
Amos Scipione, number 23, finds Cohane.
Man-to-man defense now. Carmel's lined up man-to-man against Mahopac.
Inside, Downs gets a step, doesn't get the roll. And real aggressive play between Downs and Perry. Probably the 2 best athletes on the floor.
Well, they're both very good athletes. They're both excellent football players. Kevin, a great offensive running back for Mahopac, and Dwayne, a very good wide receiver, running back, defensive back for Carmel. So they're both good athletes. I'm sure they played against each other many times. That was a good left-handed move, by the way, by Kevin Downs. He made a nice inside post move, then turned up pivot and used his left hand on Dwayne.
Kevin Downs recently got a full scholarship to Boston University to play football. I understand Dwayne Perry to Alabama.
I don't know about that, Compton. If it's so, it's news to me.
That's what I heard at one point. We'll wait for confirmation. Battle underneath. Frank Masterson doing a good job. Masterson, with 8 points, has had a solid game. And he played well the other night in a win against Arlington. 9 points, 5 rebounds.
Well, right now, Mahopac's doing a good job. Glover remains on the bench, and Mahopac is holding on to its lead. It's up to 6 points right now, Compton. And those type of missed free throws got to cause Coach DeMarzo a little bit of problem, because these are the ones you really want to make. These are the ones that really count. The last 30 seconds, everybody looking at those, but these are the ones that really make the game right now.
Masterson misses the free throw. The score remains 42-36 with 5:50 to go in the game. You're watching C-Tech Cable Systems Channel 23. Compton, Spain, along with Jerry Brown from Mahopac High School. Conroy off the mark. And this is Kevin Downs coming across. Mahopac led at the end of the first quarter 17-8, and at the half 30-19. Downs gets his own rebound and can't get the roll, but Mahopac will get the ball back.
Well, I'll tell you, Downs is really impressive underneath the basket there. That time he got his own offensive rebound and then did about a 360 spin underneath the basket and put the ball up and went off a Carmel player.
Hillary will toss it in. 5:10 to go in the game. Mahopac's led all the way, but Carmel has been mighty pesky, and they've stayed in this game. Knocked away, and that's going to be a foul on Masterson as he got tangled up with Dwayne Perry, number 20.
Well, Carmel has been pesky, and right now they've been resting John Guglielmo. They substituted, Ed Stoltz substituted Dwayne Perry at the beginning of the period for John. So John is rested. I see Glover coming back in the game now, too. So we may see a Carmel substitution for one of their guards, I would think possibly shortly.
Amo Scipione heads to the bench, and Larry Glover, who spent most of the third quarter and the first 3 minutes of the fourth on the bench, checks in. Sean Hillary, number 25. 5 minutes to go. Mahopac by 6.
Carmel is now playing a rather tight 2-3 zone, so it's to Mahopac's advantage to really hold the ball. They go inside there with Glover. He makes a big impact right away.
Glover now has 10.
You can't get that pass into Glover. Mahopac should really hold on to the ball with a 6 to 8 point lead and just take their time and make sure that they can get that inside pass to Glover. He should be the major point of their offense right now, with Downs taking a little bit of a break. They really used Downs to the ultimate in the third period to maintain that 6 point cushion against Carmel.
McGrath will go to the line, and what's so impressive about Andy McGrath, we didn't mention it earlier, Jerry, are his hands. He's got great hands.
He's got excellent hands. He was a receiver on the football team this year. They went to him in the clutch many times. I believe he had a few games where he had a multi-touchdown catches in the game. He's got nice, soft hands for a big player.
And that's really what attracted Nick Fletcher, the Carmel football coach, to Andy. He saw him playing basketball and liked his hands. And that's one of the things college scouts look at. Probably one of the most important things they look at are your hands.
Yes, absolutely, positively. And to see a big player with soft hands like Andy has, really impressive. The other thing that he has, Compton, is that he is a really tough inside player and keeps fighting and fighting and fighting tenaciously. He never gives up on the offensive rebound. He's gotten a lot of points that way this season.
And they tell me that Andy may be going to Dartmouth next year. Very exciting for him. 44-38. Mahopac maintains its lead with 4:16 to go in the game.
Well, the game is still within grasp for Carmel. It's still 6 points. Coach has made that substitution now, Guglielmo for Conroy, so he's got his starting team back in the game, basically. And these are the type of free throws that can make the last 30 seconds not mean that much. If he makes them now, it's that much to Mahopac's credit. If he misses them, he's going to give Carmel a shot with a three-point play, and they have Kip Forde in the game, Compton, right? They can throw up a couple three-pointers with less than a minute left and get that 6 points back very easily.
At times it looked like Mahopac was going to run away, but credit Carmel, they've stayed in the game. They're now down by 7. 4:16 to go. John Guglielmo and a whistle. And a push-off called on Masterson underneath.
Well, perhaps he's getting a little bit frustrated there with all the motion that Carmel is showing at him. Carmel is going to, in a position where Carmel should be shooting 1-and-1s. So this is going to help Carmel out a little bit. Anytime the ball is dead and you're losing by this many points and you're on the line, it's to your advantage.
McGrath goes to the line, 4:10 to go. Mahopac leads 45-38. And the lead is now cut to 6. McGrath now has 17 points, 45-40.
They were quiet 17 points too, Compton. You know, they're just on offensive rebounds, free throw shooting, and hustling. you know, he's not a flashy player, just a solid basic player, and that's why he gets 17. You don't even realize he had 17.
Kip Forde. Underneath again is McGrath. A battle between Forde and Downs, and a foul on Downs.
Carmel remains pesky. They keep going to the offensive boards. They know they've got to get in there. They know they have to take it where they're strongest, which is inside, and they're doing it right now. Kip made a nice drive inside, and he's counting on Andy and Ben to get the offensive rebound.
And we remind our viewers that after the game we'll be speaking with several of the players in our post-game show. As Forde now hits, and he has 6 points. 3:47 remain. Mapac's lead is cut to 4. Make that 3. Some clutch foul shooting by Forde. And Mahopac comes back, led by Hillary.
Well, what happened there was a basketball from a little player out in the court to slow the game down. Official was right on the ball and stopped play before anybody got hurt. Impressive call by the official.
And that was Lance's son that lost that ball.
I wonder if they've practiced that a little bit in the gym.
Lance DeMarzo in his second year as head coach. 16-6 last year, leading the Indians to a semi-final sectional berth. And Lance's JV record is kind of legendary at Mahopac, 92 wins over 5 years.
Well, that's very impressive. And as I remember some of those teams, there were some very nice players that fed Coach Georgialis's teams in those years too. So, you know, they had some really nice players going through the system there. And when they got to the varsity level with Coach Georgialis, they also received excellent coaching.
3:36 to go. 46-42. Mahopac by 4. So Downs converts. It's now 47-42 with 3:30 remaining in the game.
Carmel's really going to win this game. They're just going to have to, this is the time where they're going to have to do it. And they call that a three-pointer, which really helps. It's a 2-point game now, Compton, and Carmel's extending their defense. A half-court trap. And here's where Mahopac has to score. They got to get the ball to the baseline, and they didn't do it. Carmel turnover. All right, Mahopac turnover, Carmel ball.
Carmel looks to tie after Guglielmo hits a three-pointer. The game has not been tied since it was 2-2. McGrath underneath, loses it and picked up by Hillary.
And he's going to kick himself when he sees the game film on that one, because they got the ball inside to him, and had he been able to use his left hand, a little basic little pivot, he would have had a nice, easy shot, because Mahopac was paying no attention to him that time inside.
Approaching the 2.5-minute mark of this fourth quarter. 47-45. And Jerry, speaking to the Carmel coaching staff, they thought Mahopac might be vulnerable to a little pressure with Mealy and DeGrande on the bench.
Well, they have to be, and well, there's a little pressure right there. They're in a man-to-man defense. The Mahopac guards have been out there the entire game. They've got to be a little bit tired. A little pressure on them there, and an air ball pass inside, Carmel ball. So you're absolutely right. The pressure's starting to take effect.
2:19 to go in the game. Mahopac 47, Carmel 45. We'll be back.
On our famous fish fry, only $5.99. All you can eat fish, baked potato, and salad bar.
You're just a call away from on staying in touch.
Oscom, state-of-the-art in personal communications, or the best in cellular phones. Choice of services that suit your needs. 9X, Metro One, SNET, Metro Mobile, Cellular One. Pager Beeper is the best regional or national service. Telephone systems, residential or business. Call us at 914-225-1010 or visit our showroom, the Oscom Center.
You're just a call away on staying in touch.
Inside is Forde looking to tie the game. Doesn't get the roll. It's picked up by Hillary. 2 minutes to go, fourth quarter. 47-45, Mahopac by 2.
Well, that was a critical possession for Carmel with them with the ball and a timeout. They were looking to get a good shot, and they got a good shot, and they missed it. So that would have been a good one to get. Right now, Mahopac merely has to hold on to the ball, and the pressure's on Carmel to put pressure on them. Now they're coming with a double team. The ball goes to the baseline. The ball should go inside. He should have a layup.
And Glover is fouled by Forde. Just a reminder, on pay-per-view, channel 42, C-Tech Cable is offering Frank Sinatra, Liza Minnelli, and Sammy Davis in concert Friday, February 10th at 9 p.m. And to order, you can dial 628-7805 or 878-3666. Once again, that's Frank Sinatra, Liza Minnelli, and Sammy Davis. And we certainly know where Jim Padula will be Friday, February 10th at 9 p.m. as Glover misses the first. And we also should mention that several fights are coming up. You can contact C-Tech Cable regarding those. Barkley and Duran, along with others. That's Friday, February 24th. Also, Cruiser War, Martin and Cooper, Wednesday, February 15th. Lots of exciting things on pay-per-view at C-Tech Cable Systems Channel 23. 1:27 to go. And Carmel is within 2, 47-45.
Well, the 2 free throws down at this end with Glover on the line were important. Had they made one of those free throws, it would have given a 3-point cushion, meaning that they have to put in a 3-point play to tie the game. Now we're at a situation where Carmel can tie from the free throw line.
And Carmel has pulled within 1. And we might just add, in addition to fights on C-Tech Cable in February, we also have wrestling, something that interests Jerry Brown. Chi-Town Rumble. That's wrestling Monday, February 20th, 8 p.m. live. Once again, call C-Tech Cable 628-7805 for information. And a whistle with 1:21 to go, and Jerry, we're tied at 47.
And Carmel's extending their defense, again with the concept of putting pressure on the Mahopac guards, which I believe Coach Stoltz feels are tired right at this stage. And this is going to turn into a free throw shooting contest, Compton. The team that's going to make the most free throws from this point on in the game is going to win.
And this is where you really miss Pat Mealy if you're Mahopac.
Yeah, well, they're definitely going to miss him, because Mealy, not only he would have the ball in his hands at this stage of the game, and is an excellent free throw shooter. So when the fouls occur, he goes to the free throw line.
And we saw that last week with Brewster, where Timmy Galoo held the ball during the last 2 minutes and made 8 of 9 free throws or thereabouts to lead Brewster in their victory over Hen Hutt. 1:08 to go, 47-47, and for the first time in this game, Carmel will look to take the lead.
Well, they're doing a very good job. They had a nice baseline pass from the baseline to Ben Ratcliffe, who has been playing the center of the 2-3 zone defense that Mahopac has been using throughout the course of the game. So the ball goes to the baseline. The pass comes from the baseline up to Ben Ratcliffe, who was driving to the basket. That time, a desperation foul by the Mahopac guard puts Ben on the line for a 1-and-1 situation. This is how high school basketball should really end up, Compton. 2 arch rivals playing against each other. A tie game with 1 minute and 8 seconds left to go.
And good job handling there as we set up our post-game guests. And Jerry, we're going to look for you to interview Andy McGrath and Kip Forde. We're hoping to speak to those two Rams after the game, and maybe we'll get a chance to speak with Larry Glover and Frank Masterson from Mahopac. But we still have the determination of this contest at hand with 1:08 to go, 47-47. The score was last tied at 2. Mahopac has led throughout. And at half, Mahopac led by 11, 30-19. Ben Ratcliffe on the line. And Carmel goes on top as Ratcliffe records his 5th point.
Carmel's really showing a lot of composure here, Compton. They were down by 11 points at half, and they have dominated the second half. And with a minute 8, Ben Ratcliffe has put them up by 1 point.
And a whistle and a traveling call. Carmel will get it back with 1:05, and they lead 48-47.
Carmel looks like they're about ready to make a substitution here, putting in a dribbler and I believe taking out Dwayne Perry, which is a really good move by Coach Stoltz, because they're going to want to hold the ball here and look to get the ball inside.
Kip Forde, baseline, Carmel by 3, 55 seconds to go. Hillary, Cohane, Scipione. Lots of pressure by Carmel, back outside to Downs. And a foul is called on Straub.
Well, really to Mahopac's advantage here. Carmel was extending their defense, putting a lot of pressure on outside, double teaming whenever they could. And that time, Kevin drove by the Carmel player. He's going to be able to shoot a 1-and-1 situation here. Again, Compton, these fouls are, to say the word critical would be an understatement. This is very important that they make one of these free throws at least, and it's got to be this one.
Kevin Downs with 16 points. Make that 15. Looking for number 16, and there it is. And Mahopac now trails by 2.
What Coach Stoltz is going to be talking to his team about right now is the importance of getting a good shot on offense. Now they're going to be able to they're either going to have a 1-point lead or a 2-point lead after this free throw. So Carmel has been very successful getting the ball down to the baseline, and Kip has been open there. And the question is whether Coach wants him to take that shot when the first moment it opens up, or is he going to try to hold the ball for a little bit longer and try to punch the ball inside to Andy. It's either going to be Kip Forde on the baseline or Andy McGrath inside, I would think, for the last Carmel shot. And of course, Mahopac is going to have to make a decision right now as to whether they want to foul Carmel right away so that they can get possession of the ball and perhaps to throw up a 3-pointer or 2. So this is very, very critical position. It doesn't really matter that much whether the free throw goes in or not, rather that both teams are instructed as to what the coaches want in this situation right now. It's either going to be a 1- or a 2-point Carmel lead after the free throw is made, or taken rather.
41 seconds to go in the game. You're watching C-Tech Cable Systems Channel 23. Compton Spanalone with Jerry Brown, Gene Hallahan, Tony Lentini, Connell Fury working our cameras, Jim Padula taking care of stats. Back at the station, our general manager, the man in charge, Richard Jones, Glenn Bezonia, and Kevin Bailey. As this game is coming to you on tape delay, being replayed both Monday and Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. We'll also have a game later on this week, Thursday night, Mahopac and John J. East Fishkill. 39 seconds to go. Carmel by 2. Make that 4 as Andy McGrath converts. 52-48, 30 seconds to go.
Gigantic mistake there by Mahopac. That time they let McGrath skip free, get down court, and I believe it was Kip Forde who saw him and threw the pass as he was breaking. And unless a miracle happens here, this is Carmel's game. They have a 4-point lead. They have possession of the ball. They're going to be shooting a 1-and-1. John Guglielmo will be shooting a 1-and-1. And you got to give your credit here to Carmel in the second half of the game. It's been a very great comeback by them. 11 points down at half, and they came out firing, and they got the ball inside. They're playing good defense, and they were really worn out Mahopac in the second half, Compton.
We were tied at 2 in the opening minutes of the game. Mahopac led all the way until Carmel tied us at 47. And Carmel is now pulled away. They lead by 4. Glover quickly out to Downs, and we have a foul on Guglielmo as Jerry Brown shrieks just a little.
That's exactly what you don't want to do. See, when the clock is dead, it's to the advantage of the team that's losing in the situation right now, because the clock is stopped. Johnny commits a foul. Now we go to the free throw line, shooting 1-and-1 again, which could cut the lead to possibly 2. And there's still plenty of time for a Carmel miscue. That's the problem with a foul like that. You don't want to commit fouls when the clock is dead, in essence. And now they've stopped the clock, and Mahopac gets a chance to rest and to plan.
Downs misses the free throw. 20 seconds to go. Here comes Carmel. 14 seconds as it goes to Ratcliffe, and we have a foul.
Well, it looks like, Compton, that Coach Stoltz's substitution there, putting in Wally Straub in the game, is really paying off, because Wally's asset is he's a very good ball handler, and he's keeping the ball in the middle of the court, and he's keeping away from Mahopac defenders. So that time, Mahopac, in desperation, fouled them along the sideline, and Wally's going to go to the free throw line to make the chance to make a 1-and-1 situation here.
Clutch situation, I believe, for the junior.
That's a tough situation, but it's really not as critical as you think, because they have a 4-point lead, and you know, especially when Ben gets the offensive rebound like that, it took a little pressure off of Wally. Wally, it would have been nice if he made it, but I don't really think at this stage of the game it would have been really critical for him to make it.
He'll remember that all summer, though.
He'll remember that all summer, but he'll also remember the fact that he got the ball in the open court, was dribbling with Mahopac players chasing him around, and he bought Carmel about 3 or 4 seconds of time. So from going from 15 seconds to 11 seconds with possession of the ball is the thing that he really should remember, not to miss free throw.
11 seconds to go, and Ratcliffe puts Carmel up by 5, 53-48.
Well, again, Carmel showing a lot of composure and class. Right now, Coach Stoltz wants to move all of the Carmel players out from the area where they could possibly commit a silly foul and put Mahopac on the line with a 1-and-1.
Masterson to Hillary. We're under 10 seconds to go. Carmel by 5. And a foul with 6 seconds to go.
Well, that's the type of foul you don't really want to have in a situation like that. He was throwing up a three-pointer from downtown, and there was a chance it could have gone in, but you don't need to foul in a situation like that and give him another chance to put the ball in. So Kip is not going to, I think Coach Stoltz will tell him about that when he sees the game film. Let Mahopac shoot the shot, box everybody out, hold on to the ball, and you know, let the clock run out.
Hillary misses the first, so the score remains 53-48 with 6 seconds to go in the game. Carmel has fought all the way and taken the lead most recently as Ratcliffe gets the rebound, and he is fouled with 3 seconds to go.
Well, it's pretty much, this game is history, as they say, Compton. Carmel had a great second half. A lot of credit should go to everybody. Andy McGrath hustling inside. Kip Forde, nice baseline shooting. Ben Ratcliffe, good defense. And basically, it's been a good free throw shooting effort by Carmel in the second half also. So a 5-point lead, 3 seconds left. Ben Ratcliffe makes the first end of a 1-and-1, putting Carmel up by 6 points.
And that should just about do it as Mahopac is down by 6, 2 seconds, 1. And Carmel has done it after suffering 2 losses to Mahopac. Carmel comes back and wins the third, 54-48, a tremendous victory for Carmel.
It's got to be. I'm trying to think the last time we beat a Mahopac team in their gym. I think it had to be several years ago, Compton. And it's got to be a credit to Coach Stoltz, too. He told them in the halftime that they had to just get their composure down, and they had to work on getting the ball inside. And with Glover on the bench for that long, even though Mahopac had the lead for most of it, I really think that Carmel was able to concentrate a little bit more on its own offensive inside game and took advantage of Mahopac's really inability to defend against their low post game, Carmel's low post game.
So there you have it. Carmel has defeated Mahopac 54-48. When we come back, we'll talk to several of the players and wrap things up.
On our famous fish fry, only $5.99. All you can eat fish, baked potato, and salad bar.
You're just a call away from staying in touch.
Oscom, state-of-the-art in personal communications, or the best in cellular phones. Choice of services that suit your needs. 9X, Metro 1, SNET, Metro Mobile, Cellular 1. Pager Beeper is the best regional or national service. Telephone systems, residential or business. Call us at 914-225-1010 or visit our showroom, the Oscom Center.
You're just a call away from staying in touch.
Has just defeated Mahopac by the score of 54-48, and joining me at the conclusion of the game, Frank Masterson and Larry Glover. And Frank, I know it's a tough loss, but I thought you played very well.
Thanks a lot.
You had two big victories early. I know the team has been plagued by injuries with Pat Mealy and Vinny DeGrande out. How has that affected the team?
Well, not so much. I mean, we can. I think we could play, just as good, but I think it's like psychological too also. With Pat out now, we have to suck it up a little more.
We're headed to the sectionals, and you're one of the players that's going to have to lead this team. I know you didn't think of that when the season started, but a lot of the burden has fallen on your shoulders.
Yeah, well, in the beginning of the season, I've looked on Amelie, to lead the team because he's an excellent player, and also Kevin because he always has a lot of motivation towards the team, and he's a good basketball player. And I guess now burden falls on Kevin, now me and Larry.
Well, Frank, I really thought you played well. Good luck. We're going to see you later on this week against John Jay's Fishkill.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay, Frank Masterson, and sliding in now is Larry Glover. And Larry, tough game for you. Last time out against Carmel, you had a tremendous effort, 26 points, 15 rebounds. You were in foul trouble.
Yeah, I think they tried to keep me off the boards really early. They wanted to get me in foul trouble. But what can you do? I had 3 fouls going into halftime, and I couldn't be too aggressive, and it really hurt me.
Well, I spoke to the Carmel coaching staff last night, and they said that if Mealy does not play, they're going to have 5 players around you at all times. So you really had your work cut out for you.
Yeah, I was getting double and triple team in the 2-3, and the 2-3 is really hard for me. And we only have one offense to go against it, and it's really difficult because I get double and triple team every time, every game.
All right, I spoke to you last year, and when you were a sophomore, and I said, Larry, if you really work hard next summer, you're going to be something as a junior. You going to work really hard this summer?
Oh yeah, I'm going to lift some weights, and hopefully I'll go a couple inches. I'm going to go to a couple camps, and I think I'll be really ready. I'll be a triple threat next year, so I'll be ready.
All right, good luck the rest of this season, and do work hard next year. We'll look forward to seeing you.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, Larry Glover, and now I'm going to hand it over to Jerry Brown, who's standing by with Coach Eddie Stoltz.
Thank you, Compton. Coach Stoltz is here, and I want to congratulate you for an excellent job. And I was wondering, I was going to ask this question to Kip Forde, but I'll ask you. Since you were trailing 11 points at halftime, you went into the locker room. What did you tell the team at halftime?
Well, this is a family program, and I feel, no. And as you know, we used almost the whole halftime in the locker room. We came out with less than 2 minutes on the clock but what we were basically saddened by, we got Glover in foul trouble, we got him on the bench, and we didn't capitalize. Throwing the ball around the perimeter, taking silly shots, and of course I thought our defensive intensity was just awful. And I told them in no uncertain terms how disappointed I was with them, and that they were letting the opportunity slip. We came out this half, we corrected a few things on the 2-2-1 that we were doing wrong. Coach Hackett was helpful in the locker room with that. And with those corrections, we felt that we took them out of their offensive package that they had, put pressure on them far from the basket, got a few turnovers, got running, and and of course the players played better. John Guglielmo played a tremendous second half. He had some foul trouble, threw that pass down there to ice the game, made the free throws. Kip Forde hadn't hit a shot all day, hits a critical one. Ben Radcliffe hit some free throws after having a lackluster first half. So, as I told Ken Stein on the radio, they won the first half, we won the half that counted, and it was nice because we had lost 2 tough games to them this year, and I was particularly keyed up and fired up for this game, and the kids responded very well at halftime.
Seems like you are the master of the come-from-behind victory. The last time I saw you play was against John Jais Fishkill, the leader of the league right now, and you were down at 13 at halftime, and you came back and won that game also, Coach.
Well, we have all those teams right where we want them. They are confident, overconfident. Both of those are quality teams. And to come back against these teams like that is a real feather in these kids' cap. And they just didn't quit. A bunch of seniors out there, and they executed. You saw us get the ball in that third quarter to Andy, and very, very well to set a tone. We got back into the game to start the fourth quarter. I think we were down by 4. And with a few minutes to go, we took our first lead.
Okay, Coach, I'm going to go over here and talk to Kip Forde, who in a critical situation in the game with Carmel up by 1 point on a free throw, the ball came down to the baseline and you didn't hesitate. You took a shot. You were open for the shot. I was saying up there, I wonder what Carmel's going to do. They're going to hold the ball a little bit more. Shot came open. You didn't hesitate. What was going in your mind when you took that baseline jump shot, Kip?
Well, I figured I had to take it upon myself to do something for the team. I wasn't having the best game, and I had confidence, and I wanted to put the ball in more than anything, and I had the open shot, so I figured I took it, because I hadn't been hitting too much that, so far tonight. So, if I didn't hit that shot, I would have been, a little upset. But I wanted it to go in real bad.
And it went in real good. So
I don't want you guys to be camera shy here. Come on,
we're supposed to face the camera. The shot was a great shot, and it put Carmel up by 3 points. It seemed like you were playing very good defense, the entire team in the second half, coming out, forcing Mahopac, putting a little half-court trap pressure on them. Did you feel that you were going to be able to put some pressure on them because they might be getting a little bit tired? Was that going through your minds? Because they seem to be turning the ball over fairly regularly with your increased pressure.
Yeah, definitely. We've been working on this press for 2 or 3 days now, and it's something they haven't seen before, and it surprised them, and it worked for us before. So we figured we could get a couple steals and get a couple turnovers and get right back in the game, and that's exactly what happened.
You did. You got momentum going in the beginning of the period, and you never lost it. I'd like to congratulate you here on camera. You did a great job, and I know it's your senior year. It's your last game against Mahopac, unless you meet them again in the sectional. So just say one thing about what's going in your mind right now about beating Mahopac in their gym as your possibly last game as a senior.
This is the best moment in my basketball career because for as long as I can remember, I've always come this close, but we've never quite beat them. And granted, I'll give Mahopac the fact that Pat wasn't playing and Vinny wasn't playing and Kevin wasn't 100%. But I have to also give my team a lot of credit because we really hustled and worked our butts off to try to win this game.
Rightfully so. Congratulations again. I'm going to bring in your partner over here, Andy McGrath.
You've got to come to all our games.
This is Andy McGrath, the excellent Carmel player, and congratulations on a great game by you.
Thanks.
17 points, and I set up there to Compton, Spain, that the 17 points are like quiet 17 points. You're not a flashy player, but your points come on offensive rebound and then free throw shooting and really hustling and not quitting underneath the basket. So my question for you is, how did you get to be such a good offensive rebounder?
I don't know. When the ball goes up, I just get in my inside position, and when the ball comes down, I just time my jumps right and end up getting in front of the guys and getting the ball, putting it back in.
Does Coach Stoltz do some special practices with you so to increase your concentration and intensity like that?
No, we do drills, but just basic drills. It's not designated for offensive rebounding.
It seems like tonight the team also was an excellent free throw shooting team. I know sometimes this year you've had a little problem with that, and tonight everybody seemed to be making the critical free throws.
Yeah, we shoot about he makes us shoot about 25. We have to make 25 before we can leave practice every day. And we do drills, free throwing drills during practice, and that helps.
I was wondering one other thing. What your intentions are for next year as you graduate from Carmel? What are you planning on doing, Andy?
I'm going to college. I don't know where as of yet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to play. I'm going to play basketball or football, hopefully.
Okay. I'd like to congratulate you. You had a great game. And that's the same question I asked Kip over here. What's going through your mind beating Mahopac on their home floor here?
It's just great. We lost 5 times in a row over the last 2 years. And we also lost in football. We got destroyed, so it's a good revenge.
Okay, and it was also a very cleanly played game by both teams. Yeah. Both teams played real well, played with a lot of intensity, and the seniors at Carmel deserve a lot of credit for the sportsmanship they showed tonight. Congratulations to both of them. Back to you, Comp.
Thanks.
Okay, Jerry, a fine job, and I'll tell you, those 2 young men are a real credit to Carmel High School.
The whole team is a credit to Carmel High School. They really are. They're going to have a good winning team this year. They hustle. They play defense. They don't cause any trouble except for the other team. And I think they might do something in the sectionals this year too, as long as they stay active. They got 3 important games coming up in this next week. They're going to be playing Ketchum. They're going to be playing John Jay, and they're going to be playing a non-league game across the river. I believe it's Spring Valley. So Spring Valley doesn't count that much, but it'd be nice to knock off Ketchum and John Jay and throw the league into a little bit of turmoil the last week of the season.
Well, if things go right, we may very well see Carmel later on. For Mahopac, it was a disappointing evening, but the fans must realize that 2 of their top players, in Vinny DeGrande and Pat Mealy, were on the bench, and they had a very difficult time shooting foul shots down the stretch, and you got to believe DeGrande and Mealy would have been on the line. And the good news for Mahopac, though, we will be back here Wednesday night, a game that can be seen on CTEC Cable Systems Channel 23, Thursday night at 8 p.m. That's Mahopac and John Jay's Fishkill. Just taking a look, our leading scorers this evening, 11 for John Guglielmo, 17 for Andy McGrath. For Mahopac, Kevin Downs, 16, and Larry Glover with 10. Well, that just about does it, Jerry. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Good luck. Maybe if we do see Carmel in the sectionals, we'll certainly ask you to join us.
My pleasure. It's a pleasure working with you again this evening, Compton. It's always enjoyable up there. And congratulations to Carmel and Mahopac for a well-played basketball game.
Jerry Brown, longtime coach for Carmel, a very successful coach. We want to thank our sponsors, the Longhorn Restaurant, Route 52, Carmel Plaza, and also Oscam Communications Center, Route 52, Carmel, across from Lloyd's Lumber. So for our entire crew, Richard Jones, our general manager, the man in charge at CTEC Cable, Glenn Berzonia, productions manager, Tony Lentini, Gene Holohan, Connell Fury, working our cameras tonight, Kevin Bailey, ads consultant, and Jim Padula doing another great job on stats. I'm Compton Spain for Jerry Brown, wishing you a very pleasant evening.
Thank you.